'Twas the nights before Christmas. Despite last-minute stress, few were delivering except Walmart Express.
Stockings were hung by the fire with care, knowing in about an hour stuffers would soon be there.
On to the road, Walmart Express delivery went. Chock full of wondrous things in the St. Nick of time sent. Let's go!
Get express delivery in as fast as an hour, even on Christmas Eve. Orders must be placed by 4 p.m. local time on 12/24. Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
Express delivery to y'all and to all a good night. Welcome to your Walmart.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today, we are joined by the winner of the Finding Mr. Christmas series. So if you haven't watched the finale, spoiler alert ahead.
Oh, this hide the whole thing.
Welcome to the podcast, Ezra.
Wendy and Megan, thanks so much for having me. How are we doing?
We're so good. Thank you for being here. We have to start, obviously, congratulations on your big win.
Thank you so much.
What's life like now that you don't have to keep this secret anymore?
I love that question just right out the gate because it's definitely a moment that I've been looking forward to, you know? And there's like a little bit of just weight off my shoulders because for this long I've been having to like keep the secret from my parents, siblings, good friends, my grandma, who's like my best friend.
You didn't tell anybody?
No. Luckily, though, I did have like one of my closest people in the whole world, my youngest sister, and she was on the show. She
Barbara.
Knew. Yes, told Barbara. And she was like a foundation. And like, that was just like the trust. I'm so lucky to have had her to confide in and share the secret. Because my mom would ask her what she knew. And my grandma would ask me like every week, like, do you win this thing? I'm like, you're late. Just wait. It's going to be so fun. And like, just go week by week. And yeah, it's like a nice weight's off my shoulders. And it's just like so fun. And the air is so light and like charged with magic, you know?
Oh, that's lovely. I bet. I don't know if I could have kept a secret like that for that long.
Nobody does until you have to.
Yeah, right? I would just be so worried that I would say something wrong. It must have been so nice to have the other Mr. Christmas guys. Other than Elijah and Hayden, did they know the outcome of the series officially?
Well, yes, especially because we're all like, ever since the show stopped filming, we're all in a group chat text together. And I think it was just, no, it was never like if there was an official announcement, but all the guys just kind of like are super close. So it definitely got out to just within our circle. And yeah.
That's so fun. Now, I'm curious, did you watch the series yourself?
Absolutely, yes. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. And I was just like going through it in my own way, like intrigued to just see myself in like a show like this for the first time. And what's so fun is each week I was kind of somewhere different, whether it was home, having some friends over to watch, or some of the other guys that are on the show, they live in LA, and we would like go to their house and do a little watch party. But it's so kind of hectic with people kind of talking over each other. I would like rewatch it within like the next couple of days, just kind of on my own to like see what I really thought. And yeah, each week, and my family's kind of having a blast with it the whole time, having no idea what's going on. And even just from the first episode, it was a huge deal. Being from Kansas, like growing up, none of our friends or like family has been in something like this. So it was just kind of a big deal from the start. And my parents are kind of talking about the episodes. And once one would pass, then I could like kind of talk about it with them. It was just fun. So yeah, I watched it.
You're like, yeah, I'm still in it. I'm curious if you think it's fair. We watched it from the very beginning. We were
big fans,
huge fans of this series. Yes, we loved it. And now I want to say, in our first recap episode 1, you come on screen. This is committed to audio. I was like, oh, Ezra looks like the winner of the show. Like, you come on screen, I was like, that's the winner. Based on nothing.
You had the support from the show.
You hadn't said a word. However, in the editing, do you think it's fair to say that like they were not clearly revealing who the winner of the show was going to be ahead of time?
Absolutely. And there's so much genius and like creativity that goes into this. I can't even begin to fathom like not just why, but like how they did everything. And
Yeah,
I
the
think
storytelling
there
that
was
goes into reality
right.
television.
They kept such a good balance. Like at times, I'm even like guessing, like, wait, did I really win this? They just do such a good job. You know what I mean? Of like keeping it fair and probably knowing what the audience is like picking up on in certain things. And I think they did a great job of keeping it like really. I mean, they didn't even have to do that. It was just natural. All the guys are so talented and like genuine in their own way. So I think it was anybody's race from the beginning. But yeah, especially the production and post production. It's amazing how they put it all together.
Yeah, it hits all the notes of like
Mhm.
our favorite reality competition series.
Mhm.
So we know that you guys didn't exactly know the premise of the show when you were
Mhm.
applying. Like you didn't know you were going Hallmark, but what led you, how did you get involved in the first place?
Great question. And it's so true because I think because it's like a first season thing, anybody from now moving forward is going to know
Yes.
like what they're getting into from the first
And
season.
how to prepare.
Absolutely. And just whether or not they want to. And it was so secretive in the beginning, which was kind of fun. And I had been kind of approached by different reality kind of productions in the past, and I kind of just knew it wasn't my thing. It wasn't part of something I wanted to be like involved in, just for whatever reason. But what I heard from the beginning was this was family oriented, and I was like, oh, that's 100% yes. Even though I didn't know what it was, who it was, I just knew there was going to be reality competition and family, and then going through a couple steps of the process. Then I found out it was Hallmark once I got deeper into it and pretty much like got to the paperwork part. So I was just like, yes, so stoked. And even then, though, I had to keep it secret.
So you knew it wasn't going to be Love Island. Like once you got to
Sure.
that point,
Right. Absolutely. And
it's
they knew, they pretty much just told us it's family and it's not like relationship based. I was like, oh, cool. Let's
oh yeah.
hear a little bit more about it.
Did once you found out it was Hallmark, did you do like a deep dive into Hallmark content to like prep
I
yourself?
definitely watched a bunch of the movies, like right leading up to filming the show. And that's honestly like a nod to the production as a whole. Like they suggested watching like certain movies and just in case, because these are guys from all like separate walks of life,
Sure.
and they're not 100% sure if everybody is like grew up watching Hallmark or all
Uh-huh.
the movies. So they're like, it's a good idea to kind of get in the mood, kind of see the world that we're going to be in. And it was, yeah, super just smart to prep that way. But it was easy for me. I mean, I grew up with Hallmark, like, so I was like, absolutely, let's,
Was your grandma like, oh my gosh?
absolutely, yes, but like 3 times louder.
So when you think about your experience being on the show, what stands out to you in terms of making the show?
It was such a, seemed like just a universe or like a bubble I had never been in. And
Uh-huh.
it took me back to my like military days, like training to be a rescue swimmer in the Navy. It's the exact same thing. Guys are going home left and right because for whatever reason they can't continue in the training, and you're just not leaving base. You're sleeping specifically. You're like eating and training, and everything's so intense for that one singular goal. And that's exactly how it was like on the show. And that just surprised me, but it was kind of like at home at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I
Yeah.
went through something kind of similar. Just be as present as possible and just prepare the best you can, but also just be open. That's something that really stuck out to me that I didn't really realize what goes into the acting world as much as now I know it does. Just
Yeah.
being open and kind of just as present as possible. But
Yeah.
yeah, so many things. It was just like going into a new world. I was like, what is going on? Especially being separated from family.
For sure. I gotta tell
Mhm.
you, the one of the later festive face-offs that you did, you were paired with Blake and you guys were building the snowman. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
tell
I
you,
remember that very clearly.
your communication was spot on. You were really
Thank
good
you.
in that challenge.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was
Really
like
good.
that. I feel like that military precision came through. You're like, I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to give clear directions. We're not going to rush this. We're going to
That did remind me of that.
yeah.
That's something we would brief before every mission in the Navy is clear, concise communication. Anything extra or like less than is going to get in the way of the goal. And it totally reminded me of that. And
You're
of course,
like, I'm used to jumping out of helicopters. We can build a snowman, Blake. Like, let's do
but
this.
still, we lost. And I think you could see it on Blackman's faces. We were.
Friends, it's all good. It's all good. But you know what? You won the show, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that's all
That
that
is
matters.
true. That is true. But still, you can learn from all your losses, right?
Of course.
And how about that? The talent competition when you literally rolled out there on your
oh my goodness.
rollerblades. Were you panicking about
Yes.
sharing a talent?
Whatever you're going to finish that question with, yes. I was panicking about everything. I've never done a talent show before.
Now, they tell you like have an idea of what your talent was going to be? Because if that was me, I'd be like, I don't have a talent.
Yeah, because luckily, what's fun is they're so just creative and genius. I'll say it over and over, but they got to know me a lot before going to film, just in like different questionnaires, like what are your hobbies, all that sort of thing for like months. And it was like one of the days right before leaving, one of the main producers is like, hey, we know you love to skate. Try to find room in your luggage with your skates if you can. So those skates from that episode, those are
They're
mine.
yours?
Skate and like at the beach all the time.
Nice.
And I was like, what? I got all these clothes and stuff to bring. And now I got to fit skates in there too. But if they're suggesting it, I'm going to listen.
I'm going to have to leave
I
a
had no
sweater
idea
at
what-
home.
Yeah, exactly. And that was fine. It was a good trade. But then leading up to it, I had no idea where those would come into play. But as we find out there's going to be a talent show, they're going to be like, everybody kind of had their own specific thing. And they did kind of help nudge, like, this is not a bad idea. Skate and then kind of figure something else out. But that's all I had to go on. So I was going,
It
I
worked.
was just, well, thank you.
It worked, Ezra.
My prayers were answered. Just think of something. Oh, coffee, kind of mix it all in together. Espresso martinis. I love to make those. And just get up there and have some fun. And I didn't know that it was going to go that well. Just
Yeah, you did a great job
prayed and
bringing the
said-
energy in that challenge,
Thank you
which
so
I
much.
think was really all that, like the talent itself kind of didn't matter, like what talent the guys chose. It was like, what energy are you bringing to this
I agree.
particular competition? Like,
Came at a great time too, because I remember right before that challenge, Melissa Peterman looked at me and said, we don't know Ezra. We don't really know your personality. And I was just like thinking, that's my goal as a whole in being here, is kind of just showing who I am, hopefully like uplifting others, like watching, and just being my whole goofy, like energetic self. But leading up to it, I'm naturally kind of just reserved and kind of just like more quiet and like chill until like things kind of play out. I'm just a very like patient and like kind of trusting person. But that was the perfect timing to show some personality. I'm glad it like kind of.
Well, I
portrayed
think that
that.
really says a lot about you too, and why you won the show is that you listen to direction and you actually act on that. I mean, no pun intended with the act, but I'm saying
Nice.
like you take it and you do something with it. So that's really interesting that you said Melissa Peterman was telling you, hey, we don't know who you are, and then you're like, all right, here I am.
Right.
we got to say that
No,
a couple
I was
times.
just like, what's going on? I'm just like praying like they're right and I can do something, but I don't want to force it or not be myself. So I literally felt the conflict of that. But I appreciate you saying that. It definitely helped just being open and listening.
I mean, I think we got to see that a couple of times in the competition with that talent show competition when you guys spoke to Kelty Knight. You know, she gave you the opportunity to redo your answer, and you brought it in your second answer. And the same thing in the finale with the direction. Allie gives you the direction to like hold on the reaction, and it was very clear that like you took that direction really well. So I think that.
Thank you.
That stands out. They're like, can this person be directed? Because if not, it's not going to work for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so fun when I remember getting to watch that finale episode when I got to watch myself do it, first of all, and then take Allie's direction and then see a clear change and then get to see her say, he changed everything when I said, how about you do it this way? Because I'll be completely just honest in those moments. I'm like, I've never done this before. Direction is just great. I can listen and kind of like change and adapt, but don't have experience to fall back on. So I want theirs to transfer into my own like foundation, if that makes sense. It definitely helped.
You mentioned Melissa Peterman. How much did you love Melissa Peterman?
Like too much.
Yeah.
We were just messaging the other day, and I was like, I already miss being around you and Jonathan, because it's not just like when we're filming something or like there's like a specific challenge going on. It's 24/7 with them. They're so just hilarious and lighthearted that it is an energy that like I miss being around, because I don't know, it's just so uplifting and like fun and funny, and they're literally the best.
I mean, Jonathan does seem to have an endless well of energy. We were on the first Hallmark Christmas cruise and he was hosting. And that dude, I mean, they had him. I don't know if he slept. I was like, I don't know. But he was on for 5 days straight. So I can only imagine on a project like this.
I need to learn how to get my energy levels to
Right?
greater limits. Like, it's so impressive.
Yeah. So Hallmark movies are made on a super tight timeline. We know that. What sort of prep did you get going into filming Happy Holidays? Did you get to meet your co-star ahead of time? How did Hallmark work with you on that?
That is a great question. I love it because there was a lot of prep, which I totally needed and received, like, because I knew that I didn't know a lot. And I knew that I wanted to prepare as much as possible, because there's only so much you can do. And then once you're in an experience, then you just have to like be in the moment and pick it up and go as it comes. But I got to get the script a couple weeks after the show, and I got with an acting coach, Jeffrey Marcus, who Jonathan Bennett has worked with numerous times. And that was so helpful. We broke the script down. I mean, I'm just like a big reader by nature. Shout out my dad, who just got me and like my siblings reading at like an early age and just got hooked on it. And that's also just the way that I stay connected with my dad. We'll like read the same books and FaceTime, like, no matter where we are. So I got the script and just religiously read it, knowing like, well, first time I read it was so funny because I'm like just in love with the story. I'm like, thank goodness I didn't get to choose this, but I'm so happy this is what it is. And I just so believe in it. So I really got to spend some time with the script, read through it a bunch, connect with the character, and even learn how to do that in the process of it with Jeffrey Marcus. And he's amazing. We just broke it all down and then went up to Vancouver to film. And I got to meet Jessica Lowndes a couple days before, met the whole crew, the director, the executive producer. And it was nice because it wasn't just 0 to 100 show up and film, which I guess sometimes, like you said, it's on a tight schedule. Sometimes that does happen. But yeah, it was so nice, kind of just leading into it. But I was right. There's only so much you can do on that first day of filming. Oh my goodness.
Trial by fire.
You can only prepare so much. I'm so glad I did, because it was the foundation, but still the nerves and just the overall feeling of what it's like with so much involved for like a 30-second scene. I had to just feel that for the first time and just feel like that pressure and stress, and then kind of just through time, like assess it and move on and kind of let it go. But yeah, the timeline was nice. Got some prep, totally worked, and got to a point where I was really proud of just being in the moment and actually feeling totally just a part of the movie, and really happy with it.
I mean, to show up on your first movie and you're the star of the movie must have been kind of a surreal experience for you.
It really was. But all I had to go on, because I've never really auditioned for a role in film before. And I keep hearing that, like, especially while we were filming, over and over and over. And I'm just like, I'm sure that does sound crazy to you guys. Of course it does to me, but I have no like comparison. Like, I haven't like been in some supporting roles or been background for years or anything. I was just, all I knew was nothing to leading role. And to me, I didn't have time or like extra energy or focus to think about that. I was like, well, we got a job to do. And I
Well,
know,
luckily you had a fantastic director too. Terry Ingram was the
goodness.
director. And how did he
So sweet.
help? How did he help?
He is, I just from knowing him, from getting to work with him, he's just so sweet and personable and like emotionally intelligent. that he could almost like read my thoughts for me, and it's just something I learned. Like, I didn't even know it was like this, but the camera sees everything behind your eyes and like every emotion, if you're comfortable or not. And he kind of just guided me and gave me feedback like on the first day. And that was just like a really strong like starting point. And yeah, he's just has such a cool way of running things. And even then, I can't compare it to any other director I've worked with. That's the only one other than Allie on the show. I would love to do a movie with her. She's amazing. But
Yeah, we love
he's
her.
super chill, sweet, and just very intelligent. And I wanted to make him proud and also kind of not let anybody down, because there was a lot of pressure like going in. Like, you're the lead man in this movie. Act like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm still kind of sorting through the thoughts and emotions that went down, but
Sure.
it was amazing.
You co-star with dogs in this movie. Okay, I want to talk about the dogs because did you guys know at all the premise of the movie that you were going to be starring in as you're making Finding Mr. Christmas?
No, not at all.
Because part of me is like that dog photo shoot challenge that you guys did early on.
I mean, maybe they knew. We did.
Sure, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If they knew where they were going to put you guys. It's a fun challenge on its own. Like, everyone loves cute puppies and then putting you guys, whether the movie
right.
had dogs or not. But it's kind of a fun foreshadowing to be like, okay, well, I can't really control what these puppies are doing, and I got to make it happen. So these dogs on set seemed very clearly like trained working dogs. But what was that like for you to have the added co-stars?
It was so fun and kind of grounding. I mean, dogs are on set are the dogs we love at home.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of just softens up when the dog's around, but it just kind of lends the extra helping hand, is just extra sweet. But I did learn so much. The stars of the movie are the owners and the dog handlers, like, and they're never in frame. It's so impressive just how well trained those dogs are. They had to be happy the whole time if we're going to get what we want. And there's just so many like fun moments that are kind of like right under the gun of like the pressure, like clutch. Like, you have to give the dog this treat that it's not going to eat too fast, so it's not going to look over here. And the dog handlers are right in there, and then they set it up, get out of the frame, and then action, and then all the moving pieces go.
Oh, wow.
And it was just so fun. Like, I only want to film with dogs now. Like, it was just a blessing.
It's so funny because, like, you see, like, they have like dogs in airports, like non-work, like keep not therapy dogs, but you know what I mean? Like companion dogs, like pet the dog. Right. It's finals week at my kid's school, and they bring in like dogs to like de-stress the kids. So I think it'd be so fun to like have a dog at work. You'd be like, I'm just gonna go hang out with this dog now while I think about my next line.
Yeah.
It also like elevated just the level of how impressive it was, because at any moment there's just so many things that can go wrong.
Sure.
Which just made it even more like amazing to me. And then filming a Hallmark film in a certain amount of like a certain timeline with two dogs, it's just a bold strategy. Throw in a guy that's never acted before, and we got some entertainment, you know. But it was so impressive and so well done. I'm just blessed to be a part of something with this magnitude of like skill and professionalism and like passion.
Sure. There is a special cameo in this movie that I feel okay talking about because it is in the preview. Until I saw the preview, I was just going to hint at it. But did you know that one Mr. Jonathan Bennett would be joining you on set, or was that a surprise to you as well?
It was a total surprise, and it's so funny that you like preface that question that way, because I've already had people ask me, because it would just make sense, right? It's so fun. Like, why miss that opportunity? But then when I saw the preview too, I was like, oh, everybody knows. Okay, cool. Yeah. I can tell people about it, talk about it. I didn't know, like, you see the call sheet every day. He's just so creative and fun. He's not just going to show up and be like, what's up, bro? What's up, buddy? Let's do this scene together. He's going to make it an extra fun, like, moment. And I'll have to get that video from him. But there's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't filmed it yet. And they had it all set up. But the producers and Terry and Jessica were sitting there, and they're talking about like safety, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna go to this waterfall in the next couple of days, and then but they were just distracting me, I guess. And then I just hear, I'm back, baby. I'm like, I know that voice. And he just
Can I get
surprised
a
me.
ho ho ho?
Exactly. Yep, you guys got it. And I just turn around. I got like the biggest smile, but I'm like so shocked. It's already there's so much going on. And that's the moment where I didn't even know like he was going to be in it, but that's the moment we're about to film, like his little cameo. And it's so
Awesome.
sweet. I love that part of the movie. It's genius.
I love that. And I thought it was funny because like he gets emotional in this like dot.
Mhm.
And we kind of joked like Jonathan cries on the show a lot. And I just feel like he's like me, like his emotions live like right under the surface. So it
Mhm.
doesn't take much to make him cry. But I thought making that character have that like teary moment was
Mhm.
extra special. I love that they surprised you with that. I was hoping that there would be that moment.
There was that moment was huge. So I'll have to get that video. It'd be fun to share. I'm sure somebody has it. You'll
For
see it on
sure.
social media next.
I mean, Jonathan's social media game is pretty strong, so I bet he has it.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm learning from him every single day that goes by. Believe
Yeah.
He's a pro.
You, now that you've been announced as the winner of Mr. Christmas, you got to appear at the Hallmark Christmas Experience.
that. Yes.
And for me, I'm like, the movie isn't even out yet, and you're appearing like as a Hallmark star. What was that experience like for you, like meeting the Hallmark community in an event like that?
It was a beautiful, like full circle moment in so many ways. But first of all, because it's in Kansas City and I'm from Kansas, and I'm getting more used to like the bright lights, the hair, the makeup, go here, go there, fans. But to get to do that in a city I'm familiar with was so like, whoa, what's happening? This is so fun. And also shout out to the other Hallmark stars that were there. Like I felt they knew I was doing it for the first time. And it's kind of a lot. And they were just so like warm and inviting. And like fans would run up to them to take a photo, and they'd be like, well, we got Mr. Christmas here. And just drag me in and just made me feel so included that it was just like with old friends. And that's just another reason. It's like such a blessing to be a part of the Hallmark family. They call it that for a reason. And that was a huge like moment where I learned that's what they mean when they call it family. And it's so true.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's an amazing experience. I did see on your socials that you were with Brendan Penny for a little while over the weekend. So that's cool to hear. Even like for us as Hallmark content creators, like to hear that these actors are actually like super cool in person. It's nice to hear.
It is nice to hear. And I think our first Hallmark fan experience was, like I said, we went on the cruise and we're going to this weekend for Christmas experience. But seeing the Hallmark fans in the wild and the way they react to these stars, I mean, people do ride hard for their favorite stars. And so I could see being on your end of it where they're coming to see you. It could be a little intense. So I'm glad that you had like, little wing persons to help you out.
Yeah, wing
And
person.
like it was so fun too, seeing so many people that like knew the show and like would recognize me. This is kind of new for me. And it was also so fun that my grandma Shirley got to come and like sit in the front row of like this concert hall thing where we like play games on stage and all that.
How
Reindeer
fun.
games.
Just for them to get to see that, the reindeer games. And they let us like pass out these like cool little keepsake, like cozy Christmas socks. And I grabbed some and I want to run up to my grandma, but like the fans are running up to the stage because they think I'm about to pop. And I'm like, oh, this is a bold strategy. So I give one to one of the parents, and I'm like, this one's for my grandma Shirley. And then people around there just started like cheering because I had talked about her on the show because she's so sweet, like best friend. Like I don't know, I can't even explain it. She's just awesome. It's always been like my guiding light through life.
Oh, Ezra, that's so
And
nice.
I'm just blessed. But they get to run up to her, give her a big hug, give her the little memento, and then everyone around was just like cheering. It was such a sweet moment. Like I feel like she thinks she's dreaming, and we just talk. And after this, I'm going over to her place for a cup of coffee and see some of my aunts and uncles.
Amazing.
It was
Are you back home in Kansas?
Yep, I'm at my parents in Kansas City.
Oh, fun for the holidays.
Yep.
So the premiere is this coming weekend. Do you have like premiere party plans? Are you gonna have a watch party back home?
Well, not necessarily. I'm not sure exactly what we'll do, but there will be I'm going to try to be like as many places at once I can because there's like different watch parties where like different siblings live. I'll try to FaceTime.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Oh,
just-
nice, good.
And the amount of support, this is something I didn't even consider or expect, but so many like families and people I used to be in the military with, friends I haven't heard from in so long, and people I barely even know are all like so supportive and saying they're excited to watch the movie. And that's just so uplifting, like special feeling. I didn't even know this is what it would be like, but I'm so thankful that really I'm just involved in something that everyone's looking forward to and can watch with their families. So not sure on plans, but I'm just so thrilled with like the reaction so far.
Well, celebrate the moment, dude.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is silly, but like at my wedding, before we walked into the reception, my mom was like, take a minute and just look around and like see all the love for you in this room. And I think it's such nice advice in a big life moment to step back from it a little bit and just be like, all these people are celebrating this accomplishment
It's
of
kind
mine.
of crazy.
Isn't it? It's amazing.
Great advice though.
I mean, the movie's not even out, but we do have to ask, what's next on your agenda? What do you want to do next? Do you have plans?
So like we said, I'm very open to taking advice. And my goal is to be in more movies, do what I can to keep that like love and positivity like spread. I feel like that's my goal in life. And I'm going to get involved in more acting classes, audition for roles, and just kind of Jonathan Bent is just such like a role model, and he's offering some advice, and it's just kind of staying busy and hopeful in the industry. But I hope to make more Hallmark movies and just see what I can do, because it's an amazing experience so far, and there's kind of that feeling in my heart where it's just kind of getting started.
Aw.
You know, look, we're rooting for a second season of Finding Mr. Christmas. We're just gonna put it out there that they should absolutely bring you back as a guest judge as the first winner.
Yeah.
Listen to
I would
our,
love to.
you know,
Yeah.
that'd be so fun, right? Tell our listeners where they can find you and keep up with you outside the podcast.
Let's see. Mainly just on Instagram. My profile on there is Ezra.Moreland. And that's about it. I love social media for like what it can be used for, like on a positive note, but I'm just not all that involved in it. Like I'll keep the post going and stuff, but it's hard to really connect with people truly how I want to. So I'm like more like
Yeah.
FaceTime when it comes to like calling somebody. But
Nice.
yeah, catch me on Instagram, and if not, you'll just see me at a gym somewhere or on a hike or something.
Or on
maybe
the
a coffee
Hallmark
shop
channel.
reading a book. Yeah, there we go. Hallmark Plus. And if anybody's listening to this right now, I'm hoping that they feel like kind of excited to go watch the show if they haven't yet. And if anything, the movie coming out is gonna hopefully even put more light on the
Yeah.
show. This is like a kind of like the production from that.
I mean, we've been shouting this show from the rooftops day one. Wendy said it's her
Appreciate you
favorite
guys for-
show of the year.
It's my favorite show of the year.
of all
Wow.
of all platforms. So we're so excited for you, so thrilled for your success, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode.
Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. We'll be back next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product.
I'm Cindy Lauper with fellow Cosentix advocate, Chef Michelle Bernstein.
We'll share our experiences with plaque psoriasis, with psoriatic arthritis, and Dr. Panico will talk about the possible connection.
Cosentix secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur.
Learn more at 1-844-COSENTIX or Cosentix.com/Chef Michelle.
We know you have a lot on your holiday to-do list. And at the UPS Store, we're here to help. With our pack and ship guarantee, your gifts will arrive intact or you'll be reimbursed. Got holiday cards to print? We're also the premier printing store. We've got everything you need for every way you holiday. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under $100. And gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at Tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here. People throwing parties, ugly sweaters everywhere. Stockings hung up by the chimney with care. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under $100. And gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at Tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under 100. And gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
I won't let my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis symptoms define me.
Emerge as you. In 2 clinical studies, Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, provided 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks in 7 out of 10 adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. In a study, nearly 7 out of 10 patients with 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks were still clearer at 5 years. At 1 year and thereafter, patients and healthcare providers knew that Tremfya was being used. This may have increased results. Results may vary.
Serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge as you. Learn more about Tremfya, including important safety information at tremfya.com or call 1-877-578-3527. See our ad in Food and Wine magazine. For patients prescribed Tremfya, cost support may be available.